China is building a giant wall, but not out of stone, but out of trees. The project is being called the Great Green Wall, a remarkable attempt to halt the expansion of the Gobi Desert, which is devouring fertile land and threatening millions of people. If left unchecked, the desert could expand even further, turning fertile areas into barren areas. But how do you stop the desert? The answer is by planting trees. But planting in the desert is no easy task. The sand doesn't hold roots, the wind can uproot seedlings before they can grow and water can. So, workers are using a special technique that starts with making straw barriers. Before the seedlings are planted, workers first stick straw into the sand, forming a grid pattern of about 1 square meter. The straw helps stabilize the sand, slows the wind, and keeps the soil moist. Once the barriers are complete, seedlings such as saxaul, sea thorn, and solace are planted inside. But the biggest challenge is not just planting, but ensuring that these plants survive. In some areas, rainfall is less than 200 millimeters per year, far from enough to support a natural forest. To overcome this, workers are using manual watering methods and even water-saving drip irrigation systems. Some of the trees that have managed to grow are now starting to create microhabitats, where birds and insects can return to life. Interestingly, the project involves not only scientists and governments, but also local people. Many farmers who had lost their land to desertification are now being trained to plant and care for trees. In this way, the Great Green Wall not only restores green areas but also provides jobs and improves people's welfare. In addition to trees, scientists are also experimenting with other types of vegetation. Small shrubs and drought-resistant grasses are being planted to help speed up the reforestation process. There are even projects to turn sand into more fertile soil using advanced technology, such as spraying a special clay mixture that helps the sand bind water and nutrients better. What's more interesting is that this project is not just for China. Other countries facing similar problems such as Mongolia and parts of Africa are starting to use similar methods to combat desertification. Africa itself has its own version of the Great Green Wall project, a green belt that stretches across the continent to hold back the expansion of the Sahara Desert. Of course, projects of this magnitude do not always go smoothly. Some regions face major challenges such as soil that is too poor in nutrients or the inability of trees to survive in the long term. There are also social issues such as farmers who are hesitant to abandon traditional farming methods for the sake of planting trees, but with continuous innovation and community support, hopes for the success of this project remain high. Since its inception, the project has planted billions of trees, spanning over 4,500 kilometers, making it the largest greening project in the world. The results are starting to show in some areas. Dust storms have decreased by up to 20% and previously barren land is starting to turn green again. However, the success of this project still depends on other factors such as global climate change. If the Earth's temperature continues to rise, rainfall could decrease further, making it difficult for trees to survive. Therefore, many scientists emphasize that reforestation alone is not enough. It must be balanced with efforts to reduce carbon emissions and maintain the balance of the ecosystem globally. On the other hand, this project also opens up great opportunities for the development of green technology, soil restoration techniques, more efficient planting methods, and the use of drones too. Plant seedlings on a mass scale are being tested to accelerate reforestation. If successful, this technology could be applied in various parts of the world that face similar problems. Even some scientists and economists see the Great Green Wall as a long-term investment. The forests that grow later can restore soil fertility, open up opportunities for sustainable agriculture, and even become an attractive ecotourism. This is not just an environmental project, but a social and economic transformation on a grand scale. Once, thousands of years ago, this area was a fertile grassland. But due to overgrazing and climate change, the desert began to take over productive lands. The Great Green Wall is a human attempt to correct that mistake. One hole at a time, one tree at a time. The desert is slowly being tamed for a greener future.